His name is Eric. And my wife and his wife are friends, and he and I are friends. So I called him like Friday, and I said, it's going to be really hot in L.A. Let's go to Park City and hike and do some fun stuff. So we did. He's a huge Warrior fan. And so if you hang out with Eric, we're going to talk Warriors a lot. And he's got way more information than I do. He asks all the questions. He has all the answers. But you know what we didn't talk about all weekend? Kevin Durant. We talked about Moses Moody and James Wiseman and Steph Curry and Draymond Green. We talked about Steve Kerr and Bob Myers. He had tons of stories. And this morning I got home and got to work and I was thinking about this and I'm like, we never once mentioned Kevin Durant. Warrior fans don't want him. And there was a story out this morning. Steph Curry was asked about Kevin Durant this weekend. And Steph's always classy. He said, I kind of like where we're at right now. That's Steph Curry saying, I'm not really interested. And Steph Curry is one of the few that got along with him. And this weekend, I watched some video on the internet of James Wiseman. Now, we haven't seen much from him. He's the raw 7-footer. He was the number 2 pick. And I like watching young guys develop. And I watched the video of him. Man, he's big. He runs a court. He can shoot a little. And I was thinking about my weekend with Eric, and I thought, if I told Eric this morning KD for Wiseman, I don't think he'd like it. Straight swap. Now, we know Durant's better than Wiseman, but something that matters in sports that we in the media do a really, really poor job of talking about. Fans like to wrap their arms around teams. And when Kevin Durant comes to your team, it's less of a team. Draymond Green was on a podcast a couple of years ago. It's called All the Smoke. It's Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. It's really, really good. And when you watched the Warriors this year, we didn't know if they were the most talented team. Many believed the Celtics were more talented. But they were fun to watch. They were joyful. And they were a little bit of an underdog. You can't be an underdog if Kevin Durant joins the Warriors. You're a favorite, and you'll be asked to win, and winning a championship will be the bottom line. But this year, it was kind of fun for the Warriors. I doubt him. A lot of people doubted him. A lot of talking heads doubted him, and they kind of liked it. They could be an underdog. You could be an underdog in Golden State, even with Steph Curry, but you had Kevin Durant, and you're not an underdog. But Draymond Green, going back to him, was on this podcast a couple years ago, and he was talking about Kevin Durant, how he watches the talking heads and how he watches opinion shows, and he's on his phone. He said, you turn on the TV the next day after we won the title, and the blanket headline is LeBron's still the best player in the world, ? Is he? And you got all these people debating it, and that's when I kind of felt like it took a turn. We came back 2017-2018 season, and Kevin just wasn't happy, despite the fact we won a title and he was the MVP. Kevin wasn't happy. And he goes on to talk about that it wasn't a problem in 2017, but now in 2018, it was always an issue. That was a challenge, just trying to figure out how is Kevin going to react to certain blank that would happen with the team or Steve Kerr would do. It was obviously a much bigger problem than just getting the ball, and there was an issue about who got the final shot. And that's the thing. And I've said this about Kevin Durant and Aaron Rodgers. They're gifted. God, they're a lot. They're a lot. We've all had friends like that. We like them. They're smart. They're sensitive. You got to kind of prepare for it. It's going to be a long day hanging out with her, him. Kevin's a lot. And these Draymond Green quotes, this Warriors team, as I was hanging out this weekend with Eric, this Warriors team, if Clay, Steph, and Draymond Green have started a playoff series and finished it and not missed any games, they're like 15, 16-0. They've never lost. And they're having fun. And they play joyfully. And they can be an underdog. And people like me doubt them. And that's fun. It's fun to be doubted and prove people wrong. That's fun. It's not fun to be a heavy favorite where you have to win a championship. And then all of a sudden, grumpy, sensitive guy isn't getting shots. And Steve Kerr's walking on eggshells. And Steph Curry's walking on eggshells. There was another story this weekend that the market's just not very big for Kevin Durant. And I say that as somebody that loves watching him play. I think he's an all-time player. I've said he's the only player I think would beat Michael Jordan one-on-one ever. If he had a one-on-one tournament, I think Kevin Durant would win it in the entire league's history. But it does matter. Team. Are you part of us? Are you into us? Are you leaning into us? Expectations. Steph Curry said it. We're good where we're at. We're good where we're at.